Crit strike and on-attack effects. Every auto attack has the ability to critically strike, or crit. You cannot obtain critical chance through levels, but it can be increased via items and some champion abilities, for example Trinimir's passive, Battle Fury. Each critical strike by default deals 175% of its normal damage. Most champions cannot critically strike towers, but there are some exceptions like Jin's fourth shot. Critical strike chance is a rough estimate of how often you will critically strike. The probability that a basic attack will critically strike changes based on how often your previous basic attacks have crit. If your attack does not critically strike over multiple attempts, the likelihood that it will crit will progressively increase for subsequent attempts. If your attack crit repeatedly, the crit chance for your next attack will go down. Crit chance stacks additively, but cannot be increased beyond 100%. Some champions' abilities in League scale off crit chance and will benefit from crit chance that is higher than 100% despite the cap, like Tristana's E Explosive Charge. Some basic attacks in League cannot critically strike because of spell or item effects. This includes Camille's Precision Protocol or the first auto attack of Fiora's Blade Work, as well as any champion that has built a Ginsu's Rage Blade. Attack effects are effects that are triggered on a champion's basic attack. These effects range from applying a slow or a stun to causing the attack to deal increased damage. Some examples of this are Red Buff applying a slow and burn effect, Tiamat causing attacks to deal cleave damage to units next to them, and Mordekaiser's passive causing his auto attacks to deal an additional 40% of his AP every attack. On-attack effects will be blocked by anything that blocks attacks like blinds or Jax's Counter-Strike unless applied by an undodgeable attack.
Hey, little buddy, how are you doing?
Oh my god! Whoa! Oh my god! Whoa! Pim, can I talk to you for a second? Look, Pim, I know it's our job to help this guy and everything, but I think this guy's a lost cause. He's obviously made up his mind. Why don't we just cut our losses and get out of here?
How does attack speed work? Attack speed is a stat that represents the frequency a unit can use basic attacks. This is measured and displayed as attacks per second. Each champion has a certain attack speed ratio, which is also the unit's attack speed by default. Additional bonus attack speed can be obtained through leveling up, items, abilities, and runes. Bonus attack speed stacks additively, and bonus points acquired directly affect its statistic. Bonus attack speed is a percentage of the attack speed ratio, meaning champions with a higher base ratio benefit more from bonus attack speed. Attack speed is normally capped at 2.5 attacks per second, or 1 attack every 0.4 seconds, and cannot be reduced below a value of 0.2 attacks per second, or 1 attack every 5 seconds. Some champions' abilities and runes allow them to attack faster than the 2.5 cap, like Jinx's passive, Getting Excited, which uncaps attack speed for 3 seconds after getting a kill, or runes like Lethal Tempo and Hail of Blades, which let the users temporarily exceed the cap. In a previous video, we talked about how after an attack's windup is completed, a player could input a new command without causing the attack to miss. This concept can be applied with an advanced topic called Orb Walking. This technique is when a player inputs a movement command immediately after the attack windup is completed. Doing this allows the player to keep moving without lowering their damage output. This mechanic can be performed on every champion but Callista, whose passive allows her to input a movement command during her attack windup to jump to the location during the attack. While Orb Walking can be done on all champions, some benefit from it more than others, mostly champions that rely on basic attacks to deal damage. There are some settings that can help you perform it more easily. Using the attack move command instead of right-clicking the target allows you to orb walk without needing to move your mouse as far for each input, but can cause you to accidentally auto the wrong target. To help with this, you can bind attack move to be on your cursor, where your champion will attack whatever target is closest to your mouse, or, by default, attack move is on champion, which causes your attack to attack whatever unit is closest to your champion. Along with this, you can use 3 different types of attack move commands. Player attack move. This setting will cause the champion's attack range to show up and the next left click input to be an attack move input where you clicked. Player attack move only click, which will cause the next input to issue.
All right, welcome everybody to the 5th Damacast broadcast. Today, we are casting Intiana University versus Illini Esports. Looks like we are getting into the lobby a little bit quicker than I expected, so I'll give you some of the analytics probably in those 3 minutes after champion select, but until they hit the go button, I'm going to start off with some overall information. So both of these teams are 3-1 currently, and they have the same number of wins and losses within their best of 3 matches, each going at a 67% win rate right now. Both of them have gone 0-2 in one match, and then 2-1 in another for their 67% win rate. It's worth noting, though, that Illini lost their first match to Maryville University, who historically has been the top team in the northern region, the Northern Conference for CLoL. So their 0-2 carries a little bit more weight than the 0-2 that Intiana experienced, although they were pretty close because they went 0-2 into Michigan State University, who is also currently undefeated alongside Maryville. They just have been up against some opponents that have a lower win rate, and that's tracked through a stat called OMW, which is opponents matched win percentage. It's just a measure of how many times their matchup is won. And then we can also look at how many times their opponent's match has also resulted in a win for their opponent. So Michigan State has faced opponents with slightly lower win rates than Maryville has so far. Now it looks like they're still not quite ready, so I'll go ahead and go into some of Intiana's antics that they typically go into for collegiate. So Intiana, on their roster, they have a player named Godsai. Now, I think that they may have to get a reschedule to play with that player because they've been using every other week a different player that goes by the name Rock Tank 10. And that player has been playing top lane for them. Typically, Rock Tank 10 has been playing ranged top laners like Akshan, Corki, Kennen, and Urgot. He plays a lot more Urgot and solo queue, but there is a bit of Akshan in there as well, so I think you're going to see a lot of that abusive playstyle top lane. Jungle, the Terrians, played support in week 1, but swapped roles with King Jeebus for the rest of the weeks. and when he plays jungle, he's picking stuff like Viego, Xin Kane, and Diana. And we see that a lot of that mirrored in solo queue, mainly with the Viego and then Kane. Their mid laner is Apto. He plays a bunch of different mid laners, namely Akali, Karthus, Corki, Vex, Kassadin, Ari, Vigar in Collegiate. In solo queue, he's playing a lot of the Ari Tryndamere, but it looks like in Collegiate, and more recently in Collegiate, he's been picking control mages, that being the Vigar and the Vex. Then if we move on to bot lane, Amended is actually the AD carry that they run with every week. We're getting ready checks, so might need to cut off soon, but he's been playing mainly Caitlyn and then Ezreal. Those are the only two champions that I've seen in his collegiate match history. When it comes to solo queue, he's been playing Ezreal again and Jhin. I'll get to it soon, but I think Ezreal will be a contested pick. Excuse me, contested pick bot lane. Support King Jeebus. Again, he swapped roles. At one week he was playing jungle, and then the rest of the time he's been playing support. We've been seeing a lot of Leo Not, and then a little bit of Karma when the AD carry decides to go Caitlyn. And we are in Champion Select, so I'm gonna have to do Intiana's analyst cover after.
Yeah, into Champion Select. Getting a couple bands out here. We mentioned that on the side of Intiana, we had talked about how their jungler really prefaces that Kane. That will be banned away first, straight out here by Illini. And besides that, just pretty stock standard bans. You got that ranged top laner taken away from Rock Tank. And then the bans on red side are just pretty standard. Jinx, Zeri are very much considered two of the best AD carries on the patch, so just taking those two off, which means they'll probably handshake something like the Caitlyn Ezreal or Caitlyn into the Jhin. As Apto bans away his own TF, so that's interesting. And we didn't quite get into Illini, but if we had, you would have known that Daniel Park pretty much only gets to play Xin Zhao. So he's gonna get
Yeah.
that one picked up.
Well, we know that Apto has never played TF in Collegiate, and in his most recent solo queue match history, also hasn't played a
True,
whole lot of
true.
TF. So
He just took Dopa's name and doesn't play Twisted Fate.
yeah,
Is actually what it is.
his opponent this week actually has played TF in Collegiate, so didn't get to it, but there's that. The one time that the Daniel Park didn't get jungle, he played J4. So maybe we'll see that next match if the Zenzel ends up being a problem.
Yeah. As Senna Viego is the lock. With the Kane taken off the board, the Viego was the most played for the jungler of Intiana, so not surprising, especially in that Viego is that next tier of prio pick. A lot of competitive will see Xin Zhao Lee Sin as the top two jungle picks, with then J4 Viego, Diana being these like secondary picks. So going towards that Viego into the Xin Zhao, it's a pretty decent matchup. It's one of the highest like skill matchups in the game for jungle. You can do a lot of creative pathing with Viego and Xin Zhao as you aren't forced into a farming playstyle with either of those champions. You can play for early aggression in invades, and both champions have pretty strong 1v1s. I'm pretty sure that Viego can win the 1v1 if he's able to get a good Spectral Mar to start it off, but it can go the way of Xin Zhao if he gets the jump on him, so it's a very like even jungle matchup, and it will be traded off as Jhin will be taken away, I think is the key one here. They're gonna leave the AD carry of Intiana up to that Caitlyn or Ezreal, right? Those are his two most popular.
Yes. Those are the only two that he's played in collegiate.
And with them not locking in AD carry here, they locked in Ari. I would not be surprised to see those two banned out.
Yeah. Thresh will struggle a considerable amount into an Ezreal, I'd feel. Like Caitlyn
Yeah.
too. They're just it's so easy for them to space. Okay, we see the Urgot ban coming out for Rock Tank 10. So with that ban, Illini can probably expect a ranged top laner from Rock Tank.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like a blind Graves on 4.
Now that
That
we
being
see the
a very
Cinder ban coming from Intiana, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I mean, uh, Illini and Intiana both play control mages. So, although you do see 4 different instances of in collegiate of sorry, Illini picking Syndra, so understandable. Tomkench is also a man that goes top lane. I'm not sure that would. Oh
I
no,
think
that's
it's a ban
support.
for the Sematon Kench. It's banning
Yeah,
the Senaton.
we haven't seen them play that yet, but
Yeah, I haven't seen King Jeebus play anything more than like Leona and Nautilus. So the Tom Kench ban I think is just a idea that that could be the lock-in instead of like a guaranteed I've seen this dude play it.
mhm.
As it will be interesting, fasting Senna was changed on this patch, so farming Senna has been nerfed. It's still okay. It's not as good as it was, obviously.
I
So
don't
we'll
think
have
you're
to
gonna
see.
see fasting with Nautilus.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is I don't Nautilus isn't typically a support that you want to fast with because Nautilus doesn't get a lot of value out of it. Like Tom Kench, sort of, especially with Tom Kench's thick skin allowing him to walk up and farm. Is Morgana is locked in as the counter pick mid for Ari, and it's going to be a blind Jace in the top lane for Quacker.
Okay.
So
The Morgana is new. We haven't seen that picked yet from Maneuver Wall.
yeah, and it's just pretty interesting because you don't see a lot of Morgana mids. Maybe it's the sauce, the go-to counter pick for that Ari. Ari's been getting a lot of picks lately, and I don't really know if
Oh, interesting. You also get a Camille pick.
yeah.
Rock Tank, he plays Renekton in solo queue. And then in collegiate, he's been playing a lot of like Graves, Wukong, Mundo. I feel like Camille is a completely different playstyle with Hookshot, but maybe it's a
Yeah,
Smurf pick.
uh Camille is a pick that if you've watched any LEC this week, you saw Vitality Alfari picked Camille into Adam's Jace. So Camille is a counter pick onto Jace, not because your early lane phase is particularly good into the champ, but because at 6 you have a lot of kill pressure onto Jace, especially with jungle setup. Jace not really having an escape besides using that acceleration gate to run away fast. Can't escape once Camille uses that hook shot plus the Hextech ultimatum. Like he can only knock her back once. So I think Camille is not like the stock standard counter pick as like, oh, I'm just gonna outlane you. It's more of the I will wither the storm. If you miss position, I will kill you. And if you ever are pushed too far up, you're in threat of getting ganked and locked down by my champ.
Gotcha.
I
Okay.
think that's the idea around the pick.
We'll have to see if he executes it well in this match. I'm gonna go back into analytics real quick, finish up with Illini. So as you can see, some of this is already spoiled, but from Champ Slick. But top lane, you have Quacker. He in collegiate has played a bunch of different stuff. He's played the Jace, he's played Wukong, he's played Renekton, he's played Graves, he's played Lucian, Mundo, and couple more Wukong Renekton games. Jungle is the Daniel Park. He's on a team. He's D4 right now. He's on a team of GMs, masters. I think that they're telling him to calm down, bud. Just play the Xin Zhao every match, and we'll be golden. We'll make it to playoffs, and it served him well so far. Although when Xin Zhao was banned against him once, I think it was in the Maryville, he picked up J4 instead. And in solo queue, he's a jack of all trades. Plays everything, every jungler. Innumerable is their mid laner, as you can see. Plays TF, Ryze, Syndra, Zoe
And
in
apparently
collegiate.
Morgana now.
Yeah, Morgana now. Although it matches the control type stuff he's picked up. And he also plays Victor, LeBlanc, Orianna, and some 80 carries mid lane in solo queue. Bot lane, we have Kuderik. Pretty generic, plays Jhin, Caitlyn, Jinx, Zeri. A lot of what we've seen from other 80 carries in collegiate. And plays a lot of Jinx in solo queue. So I think that's why we saw it on the bans there. And then support, it's the Bosch. In collegiate, he's been playing some more pokey stuff like Lux and Karma and Janna. It has a couple games on Braum whenever they pair it with Jinx. So this Thresh pick is also a deviation from Illini's normal strategy. Both of these teams have been playing against harder and harder matchups, so their losses haven't occurred until their most recent weeks. And that being, I think, Intiana dropped a game to Purdue, and Illini dropped a game to WashU. Now, WashU has been playing some. Hold on a second. WashU has with their match history is perceived as an easier matchup than Purdue because of their win rate. So that's where I would give some ground back to Indiana's chances of winning this match, because we haven't. When you play against the top team in your bracket, it's kind of hard to tell where you might lose that later on or later down in the bracket, because you're playing against the top team. So if I were to give odds to this match, I'd say it's 60-40 in favor of Illini, just because of that matchup we saw for their match history. I'm gonna switch over real quick. Brandon, you have any comments before we start?
Nope. I think you covered pretty much everything. It will be interesting if the Xin Zhao pick actually gets taken away from them as the series develops, though. Like, that is their most clear. That's Illini's most clear, like, weak point on the map, right? This player only plays one champ in competitive. It's always been this Xin Zhao pick, so I think it was a bit of an ego thing to give it to him. I think maybe they're saying that because he's the lowest rated player on that roster, that it doesn't matter that much what champion he gets. He's not going to perform at the level as the rest of the roster. Either way, so you might as well ban out a higher tier one, but with them just instantly slamming the pick on blue 1, it might be worth banning away. Unless you think the J4 is just also a crazy easy champion that you really don't want to invest 2 bans into him, then I can understand. As sort of standard 5-point comes out, we end up seeing Xin Zhao head up to the top lane with
We do.
his
We have a
top
5
laner.
stack.
Yeah, we have a 5 stack from Red. I don't think they're going to invade. I think they're just trying to counter. I think the idea behind the 5 stack is because the enemy team has Morgana Thresh, 2 champions that like to invade, although most Morgana mids don't start the binding, in my experience, right? You played Morgana in a solo lane, it's mostly
Yeah,
Tormented
it's just
Soil start.
soils all day long. Throw them down mid. And it looks like Tarians is walking around red buff. Okay, he's more.
He's just putting a deep ward. A lot of teams really like this deep ward. If you watch LCS, Power of Evil or Bjergsen will walk deep into the enemy jungle just to get that Raptor ward on the start of the game. So
Did you notice where Zinzao put his ward?
Zinzao put his ward on the enemy red.
No.
Nope. Where is it?
He put it. Well, that ward on the red is from the red team. He put his
Oh
ward
yeah, sure.
in the lane bush, top lane.
Oh, that's actually a thing you do against. Well, normally you do it against the Jace matchup. Is you'll have your top laner place the ward, so that you can't drop minion aggro. So it's interesting
okay.
that he had it happen for his Jace. I guess it helps with Camille trying to dodge out of trades by walking into the bush and dropping vision. So I guess that's an aggressive look there. But yeah, I have seen, like, I was watching some Champions queue, and Niles like called for his jungler if he didn't have a ward anywhere else to place the ward in the top bush, so that on his Jace matchup he can trade and not be able to drop aggro by walking in the bush.
Right.
So
It's pretty standard stuff going on right now.
yeah, we talked about it in draft how it's probably not going to be fast in Senna because it's a Nautilus, and Nautilus is not really the champion you want to take farm. And now that we're in game, it is farming Senna as
Nice
a
hook
plan
from the
bot lane.
Bosch.
There should be a bit
It's a
of
flash.
damage. No.
Oh,
kill
do
to
we
come
see?
through.
Where's the
I don't think
flash?
Jin's gonna flash for it. No, he's not gonna flash for it because Senna has a potion ticking plus Q.
Okay.
I don't think that kills. And if you flash there and don't kill, you just instantly get popped by the
We might have a death top lane?
Nautilus.
Nope.
Daniel Park goes for an aggressive invade, but instead he's just forced to flash away. He looked to try to invade the Krug camp, of this Viego, but now Viego's fighting Jace 1v1. Camille will come up now. Accelerated Shot Blast will secure his team enough poke on the Viego that he won't be able to contest the Scuttle Crab, but I think Viego's fine with that. He still gets full clear. If you look at what Zinzao did, he dropped his Wolves plus Krugs to get up to that point to go for that invade. Maybe he was trying to 3-wave dive top, actually. That's probably what he was going for, and then found Viego on Krugs. So Viego will be fine in XP. He's going to hit level 4 before Zinzao. He's going to be down a little gold because Scuttle Crabs do give more gold than the Krugs. But with the amount of camps that Zinzao did skip, it's actually not even bad for Viego there. It's worse for the side of Intiana there.
Rish
For
almost threads the needle there, but Nautilus takes the bullet.
Yeah. They're getting a lot of good hooks here in the bot lane, though. The Bosch has
They
really
being
shown his presence
Illini.
in the lane. Yeah, Illini, yeah. I guess we have two hookers in the bot lane, huh?
Right,
So
yeah. One of them is not hooking.
one of them is holding. You don't want to throw out Nautilus Hook, though, because Nautilus Hook is such a...
Yeah,
fucking-
no. I'm not saying you should be. It's just not using it.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be a
Thresh lands
kill.
another one. Nautilus not quite able to Spider-Man it. He didn't see it in time, and that's going to be first blood going over to Jin.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier today. Nautilus, he's got a really nice kit. Huge hitbox on that Q. A lot of CC, but he's not as squishy as some other hookers, like with Leona,
Yeah.
if you count Leona, or...
I think the other big thing there is he wasn't able to proc his Aftershock before Mercy
Yeah.
of the Burst came through. If he's able to buffer the hook into the wall to Spider-Man away, or if he was just able to retaliate hook onto Thresh and proc Aftershock, I think he doesn't die as fast. But if you're not able to get that trade in Aftershock value, you're just going to die because Nautilus is not that innately tanky. It's one of the big differences, like you were saying, between him and like a champion like Leona. Leona trades a bit of that ease of engage for the fact that she's tankier. And King Jeebus will be the first player to fall on this match, and we'll have to see if he's able to get much more pressure. You do have a better scaling bot lane though, right? Jin is a lot weaker in the later portions of the game than Senna, just out of the nature that Senna infinitely scales. So even though you're down a kill and about 8 CS in the bot lane, it's not the end of the world. Your comp definitely can fight in these later stages. I think the main thing is how well will Innumerable pilot this Morgana counter pick. So far it's looked pretty good. It's staying even in CS. And I think, yeah, I like the idea behind it because Ahri relies so heavily on that charm for getting any action down, and Morgana with the ability to just match wave clear with Ahri and then Black Shield the charm. As now the Q goes wide, she doesn't have the Black Shield anymore. Ahri can look for an all-in. She gets the charm down, ult away to drop the chains, and now Morgana might be in a little trouble. Ignite is down. Apto picks up a solo kill in the river.
Since I wasn't sure whether he needed to go help his Morgana or run top lane there, he was kind of...
Yeah, Daniel Park really just left his mid laner out to dry. I think Innumerable was waiting, trying to play off of the fact that his jungler was coming, but now that Daniel takes the Blast Cone, Ahri can just flash over the wall. She doesn't even need to do it yet, as Daniel's cut very low. Camille goes in, trying to finish the first kill, but it'll be Quacker that gets it. Diego trying to get that reset, will grab it now. He is Zin's out. He's going to heal so much. He's going to get a second reset now as Jace. He's got the melee form. Oh no, that's the worst. He got the ranged form of Jace. So, if you don't know, when Diego gets a kill, he only gets the form of a transform character that they were in when they died. So if it's Nidalee, you only get melee Nidalee because you don't have access to their ultimate to transform. He gets the ranged version of Jace, which was allowed him to get vision in the bush with that acceleration gate. His shock blast didn't actually get accelerated because he did the combo a little bit wonky, but very good trade out there. And that's why Viego's such a risky pick to play against. One kill in the fight, like you saw there when Camille drops, it's like, oh, this fight is going to be so in favor. It's now a 3v2. Viego's low, but with them just barely being able to pick up the Xin Zhao, it just spells destruction for the side of Illini. And all in all, this Morgana counter pick was looking good in lane, but then it got solo killed. So maybe just a little bit of misplay there.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't play Morgana, right? So she used the Black Shield a little too early.
Oh, as both of the bot laners' flashes have been blown, Thresh will go down. They might look for a little bit more with that Thresh soul. As with the camera flicking up here, directed camera knows where kills are at, so there is going to be no kill there, but yeah, I think it's just a bit of an inexperience on the matchup. I think it's a very theory-craft good counter pick. I think Ahri, if played correctly, this Morgana will counter it, but with that early Black Shield, she tried to predictively use it to try to block some of the damage, and thinking when Ahri's Charmin come through, I think, and maybe it's just a problem with like high ping, I don't know what the ping these players are playing on. If you're not able to just Black Shield on reaction to the Charm cast, it will be a lot harder. As Jace is really showing his might in this match, Quacker, after picking up that kill in the top lane, has that CS lane. Yeah, Apto gets hooked up, but he has that Spirit Rush. He should be fine. One more dash away, and he will get away, so. A nice hook, though, by the Bosch will blow that mid laner's ultimate, which means that with no ultimate on Ahri and her being forced back to base, Camille just based as well. It should be this Herald picked up by Illini. As Nautilus is coming in, they might fancy a fight. It is going to be a 4v4 in the Herald area. Herald already picked up. There's no reason to fight. They have the objective. Unless maybe they find a pick. Camille goes in but gets ulted away. Nice disengage by the side of Illini so far, but the Hextech ultimatum will keep Quacker inside. Good use of the Black Shield from Innumerable, I mean, will pick up. Not pick up, will defend his top laner from going down. And
what are we doing? We don't have a AD carry.
It's both AD carries are just farming. Actually, Jin finally reset and walked up towards it. 4v4, well disengaged by Illini. They grab the Herald. They will lose their blue buff for it, but I think that's a trade you'll take. Blue buff's only worth about like 100 gold, plus that temporary buff, whereas Herald is worth the initial value of the 2 plates of 360 gold, so hopefully Daniel Park will be able to find a lane to put that down in. You could try to use it to break top tower, and interesting item choices coming through for top lane. A lot of top laners lately have been electing to go for Hull Breaker start on every champion. both top laners here are not going for Hullbreaker. Jace sometimes does it, but you can also just go that lethality poke build, and from the Camille matches I've watched, you rarely go Hullbreaker start, as Quacker is just going to get the advantage in that trade. It's half of Rock Tank's health. And this Jace matchup, they picked Camille into it. They knew that the Camille was going to be in this losing lane. I think they were betting on getting more ganks coming in top. And instead, it's just going to be Rock Tank solo killed by Quacker. A nice combo, sits in the bush, patiently waits for Camille to overstep into that range so that he could get that accelerated shot plus. But meanwhile, in bot lane, we've got a gank coming out. The Bosch sidestepping for now as a flash forward from the trains will pick up the first kill, but he'll instantly fall to the tower. And it's going to be a 1-for-1 in that bot lane play. Support for jungle. All in all, even coming down. With the Xin Zhao being basing here, Viego's not even getting punished a lot for dying. Sometimes when you die as jungle, you do get punished because the enemy jungler is farming while you're not, so you drop down in levels and camp rotations. But overall, it's not bad. It was just a little unfortunate that he clicked on the Thresh Soul to like harvest it, but he was still taking tower, so he died to the tower shot while that was happening, not quite able to immune it, so unfortunate for the train, but at 12 minutes, gold is dead even. Very close match here today.
Yeah, and it's just gonna keep getting closer and closer as we make our way to week 6 and then the playoffs, right? 'Cause at the beginning of the bracket, seeding was determined by rank. They set high rank against low rank, so you'd have a more exciting time in playoffs in the later weeks, and we're starting to see that now.
Yeah, finally coming to fulfillment as Herald has been dropped top to break that top tower. I don't know if that was the best lane to do it in, as I think Jace could have broken the tower on his own. But either way, Herald will get its predicted value of 160 gold split for both players.
Oh.
As now, Jhin gets caught out in the bot lane, but with a nice lantern, he should be fine. Gale Force away, Thresh hooked up. Now, is Viego in trouble? Jhin trying to fire back. Flash, fourth shot, not quite able to hit, but it will be Thresh picking up. The Bosch takes one down as now Nautilus flashes forward. King Jabus trades 1-for-1. The Spider-Man hook comes through, but he's just going to fall. Now, Ari going in, whiffs the charm point blank. That's not what you want to see from Apto. And 2-for-1 in the bottom side. Kills did go on to the support for both teams. So, not the greatest. Jhin wasted his flash, blew his flash and didn't get the kill. He still ended up getting a kill for his team though, so it's not the worst. And yeah, just very explosive play down there. They thought they'd found a pick, but nice play from the bot lane from Illini.
Did that kill happen too soon for Bounty to kick in?
For Bounty?
Mm-hmm. Right, because if you're 2-0, you should get a Bounty there, right?
I don't know. I don't know how. Sometimes you don't have bounties, and it's weird. They were also down gold, or even gold when that happens. So maybe not as. Nautilus almost gets a hook, but a nice dark passage from the Bosch. Will he keep his 80 carry alive? And with 3 minutes on the Dragon, 5 on this Baron, we might see a fight around the Herald that's spawning here soon, but besides that, not much to fight over. Lane just being tossed back and forth. Is Camille freezing up there in top lane, or is she pushing it out? Looks like she's pushing it out.
Looks like she
Oh,
the finding lands through the minion.
Down. Yeah, and King Jeebus will just instantly get picked up. Nice setup by Innumerable. They had 4 people in the mid lane waiting to pick up somebody, and they end up grabbing it, and quick kill for the
Another one?
team. Oh no, Thresh.
That was way up. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
barely
No,
missing.
yeah, I don't need you to tell me that. We're good.
Yeah. But look at the bot lane. All this time, Jace has just been free hitting a tower. So Not only did you win the fight in mid lane, you got that bot lane tower. Really good play from Illini to pick up these neutral objectives while also getting advantages in the mid lane. As now the Herald has spawned, Viego is walking towards it. The Bosch might fancy himself a hook now. As not just as wide as Jin.
The charm.
Might get a little dangerous, but Judge from the blow will just knock him up, but it won't be enough. TP now coming in from Camille. Will they choose to fight further?
Oh.
Jin is very low, rooted up. The Ari charm doesn't quite hit. The Retro dodge. And we might finally get it as King Jeebus goes in under tower. Tains will pick up the first kill, but now what can they find? Then Zhao going in will lock up the kill onto the Viego, who was Thresh at the time, as now Rock Tank will be cut very low. Apto very low as well. It's going to be a quick pickup onto Senna. Morgana will put the Tormented Soil down, and Apto will fall. Accelerated Shock Blast barely misses onto Tank, and on a fight they engaged in the mid lane.
Yeah. Well, they engaged that because they knew Morgana was top without TP, right? So it was a 4v5 to give them some credit there, but they were still, what, 2k behind at the start of that fight? Not sure if they'd spent or who had spent, but...
Yeah, just down in gold, diving the enemy team is not quite the best way to start out fights. Maybe if they were able to kill Jin off faster, because Jin got to live the entire fight. He didn't fall.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe if they insta-gib Jin, it's a little easier. But because they only were able to pick up the Thresh initially, it's just very hard to get anything out of it. As now Morgana maybe looking for
Dragon spawn. We're gonna get another fight here?
It looks like it is. Daniel might walk a little too far forward. The hook will go wide. Nice sidestep from him, but he gets locked down anyway. Xin Zhao dies before he can activate the Crescent Guard. That's unfortunate. Now Viego trying to get a reset, but he will get picked up by Quacker. It's so close in this fight, but who can pull it out? Ari Charm will land onto the Jace, who is chunked oh so very well, but King Jeebus soon to fall on the other side. The Bosch just barely walks away with
a very nice charm lands on the Jace.
Quacker is going to fall before he's able to. The sky's not quite hitting its mark, and now Camille goes down. Camille will not fall.
Oh my god.
And with a sliver of HP on all of their players, IU pick up the team fight next to the dragon. Does King Jeebus die to the fucking mountain? No, don't die to the mountain. Now it's a TP behind for Morgana. Morgana trying to get some action here. Pops the spell shield instantly, but now she doesn't have it. Everfrost Root comes out. She'll pick up Tank with her Tormented Soil. Now Daniel Park's going in. He picks up the support, but what can he get afterward?
It's a fiesta.
This game was so calm and controlled for the first 19 minutes, but then that team fight broke out under the enemy's tower, and it's been nothing but a fiesta since. They TP in to lose 2. Viego's going to try to do the dragon, but I don't think Jace will let it happen as the accelerated shock blast did so much value.
Intiana, true to their name, turn this game from a very controlled, slow burn on the side of Illini to a bloodbath.
Yeah,
and they eke out that difference in gold. So they're up 2 Drakes and are only down what, 900 gold now?
900 gold. They're gonna get down a little bit more after his tower falls, but yeah, I think the star player there was Apto. Landed so many charms in that last fight, right?
Yeah.
I think he charmed Jace like 3 times, which really put a damper on Quacker, who you saw his accelerated shock blast. They do like half of a player's HP. So if he gets the value, if he's able to not be charmed up or CC'd down, he can probably take out Senna in 2 Qs. So Quacker not quite being able to find the value there in that fight really hindered what Illini was trying to get there. And now it is a gold lead for Illini, but Intiana has the dragon stacking. It's going to be an ocean soul too, so it's not even a soul that you want is like, oh, it's just a mountain soul, we can get through the shield, or oh, it's just a cloud soul. Cloud soul probably the weakest soul in like straight value. It's like, oh, after they ult, they get kind of fast. Look, Camille is running really fast in the Hextech ultimatum.
Yeah, I mean that can get kind of scary.
But
depending on who's getting ulted, you know.
I mean, she's stuck in the box.
Yeah, it's a little box, yeah, but you know, give maybe an extra auto in if you're lucky.
Yeah, so
I'm Josh.
Ocean Soul is very valuable as the Hextech ultimatum is instantly canceled by that Crescent Guard. Daniel Park, nice reaction time there, doesn't let anyone try to get onto him there. And even if he was in danger, Thresh was there with the lantern, throwing it down, ready to save him, but this JCQs are just doing so much damage, bro. Quacker's hitting like a truck, bro.
Yeah, I mean he's got the mythic completed and he's got the mirror mana fully stacked as well. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah. As we look at
Eclipse
items,
also gives you armor pen, right? Percent armor pen.
yeah, percent. No, it's Omnivamp. It's Omnivamp.
Okay.
Eclipse's mythic passive is Vamp. You're thinking of
So-
Growler's Claw.
Yeah, that one. I swear Eclipse gave that at one point.
I mean, you can hover over with your mouse and check.
Well, stream quality. Let's see. Armor penetration. Get the fuck out of here.
I'm
Get the
dumb.
fuck out of here.
Big dumb. Look. Well,
Why? I was playing a champion recently. I built that. I can't remember who.
well. Anyway, if we look at item completions, because that's what gold really evaluates to, right? Is what items are you able to buy? On the side of Intiana,
we
they
might
have
have
completed
action
2
there,
items
hold
on
on.
2 of their carries, but now
Oh, nice dodge.
Man will dodge away with the Hextech ultimatum, and now it's
Ah.
Cracker on the retreat. He's just gonna walk away.
He may have died if he didn't dodge that, right?
If he didn't dodge the Sentinel,
No. The Camille dodged.
no, the Camille
Jace
dodge.
EQ.
Yeah, Jace EQ. Yeah, with his HP value now, I think that EQ kills him. As now Jin forced to Gale Force away, dodges the charm. Apto doesn't quite find the mark on the skill shot, so
Bird
it
call
will
open.
be
Senna very low.
not much. As
Low
now
skill.
it's just going to be King Jeebus taken down, hooked out. Daniel Park takes the credit for that one, but what will the fight bring afterward? Diego gets his first kill, he gets the reset. What can he find with it though? Innumerable gets the seal down onto the Diego, so it will be traded 2 for 2. 3 players on both teams.
Oh!
The
From
JC
downtown!
smacks out the Senna in the end. And these fights are so close.
Whacker's kind of getting nutty with it. Longer the game goes.
The longer the game goes, yeah.
Jay should hit a ceiling, right, compared to Camille. Camille's just so far behind, I don't think the game's gonna go long enough.
Yeah. Camille definitely taking the worst in the stop lane trade as Jace has now finished his 3rd item. He's got...
Right. We have 2 scanners active right now. Are we gonna use it? No?
I'm gonna use it.
We're gonna use it on the wards that we're standing on?
Oh! Rock Tank found out. Chunk down. He's already half
So,
HP before the
they know
fight
you're
starts.
there. Sweep it.
Are they standing on a ward? No, they're not.
They were in the lane bush, so they watched them
Oh, yeah.
walk there.
Okay.
Okay.
As Dragon's gonna be started up by Illini, but Intiana's just gonna say, we'll take the 50-50 trade.
Oh!
Chase is getting
Jace
so
is
much
gonna get
value
poked.
in this corridor. Yeah, he's gonna get the poke down as now
There are
Dragon
only 3 here.
resetting. Rock
Camille's
Tank
chunked already.
coming back, but it's gonna be
Okay.
Diego picked up before the Dragon even falls. Jin under a little pressure from Ari, but a flash forward from Daniel Park will force Apto away. The hook lands, and it's gonna be a shutdown onto the enemy mid laner with mid and jungle down.
Why
It's
would
time for
you-
Baron on blue.
Why would you start that as red if you don't? If you're missing, they were missing 2 players, right? And then the Camille
Yeah.
was also chunked.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. It's going to be a trade of tier 2 tower for the Baron. I think this is a trade you should take every time as Illini, and
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I think
That's
it's
a
gonna...
nice gold swing over to Illini. And it's good on Intiana to pick up that bot lane turret in the meantime, but
Yeah, do something, right? You don't want to just watch them take the Baron. You're not going to be able to stop them anyway, and finding something on the map,
oh,
they're going to
and
be able
they
to...
get their bot side.
They get the bot side jungle, they get the turret, so... Nice counter there. Keeping the gold deficit as low as it can be, making sure that even with a losing play at the dragon fight, they don't just roll over and let Illini get everything they want.
Well, and they've been here before, right? 3k downs, and they were able to close a lot of that gap in an earlier trade.
Yeah.
They'll just need to do the same thing again.
And I think gold is not as big of a breakpoint, right, as we were talking about earlier with items. It is now 3 items on both Ahri and Senna, so the carries on this Intiana side still have item completions, right? Senna, with that rapid fire cannon, will have an exceeding amount of range.
Have you seen this Jace though?
Yeah, the Jace has more range with that EQ, and he has
He
just
almost
one
has GA.
But they might have found out Daniel Park in the side lane.
Oh.
He has to pop the ultimate early. Hextech ultimatum has an issue. Daniel has no way out. He cannot win the 2v1. It's going to be an easy pickup for them. They get a turret in the bot lane because of the 2 men top, but Daniel Park getting caught out again and again. This time without that Thresh there to save him.
At this point in the game, I think you take that, right? The turret
take
for the
that.
kill?
I think Indiana, it's good for Indiana because the Baron Siege isn't as dangerous now, right? Because now, if
Sure.
they step too far
So
forward,
you're
you
not
can't
1v1.
engage.
Yeah.
Like, Jace is not with the main group, so now you can just say, we're going to send 5 players mid. Jace, you can push the side lane, but now it's a 5v3 in the mid lane, so you should win that off of numbers alone, and just a little bit of damage going down onto King Jeebus. And with that pick in the top lane, all this Baron buff got them was that tier 2 bot lane, plus just the standard gold that Baron gives, the 1500. All in all, Intiana was able to weather the storm pretty well.
Yeah. I think a little more than well, right? Because they didn't. I keep going back to gold because I don't know, I'm fixated with it, but
Well, gold
they're
is
still just 3k gold down. They didn't. I mean, the deficit wasn't increased with that Baron push.
yeah. The Baron push was pretty net neutral after the Baron was taken. So with this next dragon,
Oh!
soon, the Thresh lane's a beautiful hook on the B. Senna. Daniel Park will take the credit for that one, as now Terrains is on the run. Can he get away? Thresh lands another hook, this time onto Nautilus, but he can't just Spider-Man away. Blast Cone doesn't quite...
Another hook lands!
But the Bosch just doesn't miss. Check his computer for an aimbot. This man has hit so many skill shots in a row. Finally misses one against Apto, but forces the ult away. Apto now taken down by Jhin. The trains will fall as well. And just as the Baron buff subsides, just as we were saying that Intiana had played their hand well, had held up, they step a little too far forward and the Bosch punishes them.
"26 seconds before those 2 team members on Intiana respawn."
Yeah, that it should be 2 inhibitors going down here. As Jace lanes 1 EQ and it's back to Fountain for Teal. Holy. Quacker is getting so much value on this pick.
Oh, wait.
He did well in lane.
I'm blind.
What?
Amended was subbed for Teal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to talk about that a little bit. That's actually probably the substitute they had to do.
Yeah.
They're,
Uh,
why they were looking for a reschedule.
yeah. It's now Apto looking to try to pick up Jace here, but Jace might take the 2v1. Somehow, Indiana was able to get the dragon. Apto will proc the GA. Hextech Ultimatum is up and available, so this Jace has nowhere to run. He's just going to try to take the fight. He will get shut down.
Since I barely gets out with the Rush Lantern.
As
Oh,
Nautilus
Fresh hooks
pops in,
Nautilus through the
gets
wall.
caught up. Oh no, it's going to be a disaster. Support is down. Apto will get dropped by the Jhin on the other side of the wall. Viego forced to run away. Flash follow with Lantern for the Bosch. It's a 2v4 in your base, trying to hold on. You've got the Senna. She procs the Xin Zhao GA, but Jhin is going to flash forward, try to get some of that damage down. Both turrets still up. It looks like Illini wants to go for the end. Rock Tank forced back onto the fountain. Nexus now being focused. They have to go in or they will lose. It's going to be a win for Illinois. They weren't quite able to stop the push on Intiana, and Game 1 goes to the side of blue.
All right. So, hold on. Let me add a new audio source so they can hear you on here, because I didn't do it the last time. All right, try to say something.
Hello.
All right, it's working. So Teal is subbed in for amended. See if I can pull up the sub. Brandon, can you maybe talk potential bans for next game while I get that pulled up?
I think you banned Jace, right?
You're asking me questions while I'm doing that.
Yeah, you banned Jace, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Camille matchup was the pick into it. It didn't do too well. They lost lane and then had less impact in the later stages of the game. I like the idea. I mean, we saw Alfari do it well. If you don't get too far behind, you are able to just group up with your jungler and force pressure onto the Jace pick, but because he wasn't quite able to get it, he fell so far behind on the Camille pick. I don't think you read it again. I think you just have to respect that the Jace is so strong. And maybe you force Daniel onto something that's not Xin Zhao. I mean, he was definitely one of the points of weakness. He got caught out in that side lane. He got caught multiple times throughout the game, and a lot of it he was just saved by the fact that Xin Zhao's ultimate is so forgiving in the ability to disengage and keep himself alive. So maybe if you trade off a Jace ban and a ban away from the Xin Zhao, or just if you get to go blue side, picking Xin Zhao for yourself, forcing this jungler onto something new would be that's an adaptation I'd like to see. The Morgana, I think the Morgana was pretty good into the Ari. She got solo killed once, but in team fights she got a lot of value. Black Shield definitely allowed her teammates to play more aggressive, and I think besides that, I think the Thresh pick you had to respect, but I don't know if you're able to give away Jinx or Zeri, as those are the champions that they banned. So I think you get to drop one of your bans, and I think if you're going to drop one of them, you have to put it towards the Jace. I think you go blue side this game, and you just first pick the Xin Zhao and force that jungler onto something else. That's what I think they should do. They might have a different play for it though, as
I've got information on Teal now.
uh,
So Teal is Diamond 2 jungle main, and he's playing in the place of embedded. So I guess in solo queue he's been playing a lot of Trundle. He looks like he off rolls support. Plays Rakan, Braum, Yumi. He has an Akshan game from at some point in solo queue, so there's a little bit of 80 carry there. It looks like they were looking for a fill and then got it in Teal.
that's interesting because didn't their jungler play ADC the first week, or was it a different?
Their jungler played support,
Oh, okay.
so they have 2 support jungle players. Actually,
Okay.
3, because they have King Jeebus too, right? Because they
Yeah.
swapped jungle support.
3 jungle support players, no AD carry.
Yeah,
This
well,
sounds like a
80 carry
recipe
couldn't make it. It
that
looks like.
a little unfortunate there. Not that Teal did bad on the Senate.
No, he did really well.
Yeah.
He just got hit by a couple of stray hooks. Kane dodged one mid lane towards the end of the last match, and it landed on the Senna.
Yeah. When Viego dodges the skill shot and you were like, oh, he's going to tank it, it is a little unfortunate. The Bosch was on point with those. I give my thoughts on changes in draft. What do you think? They should anything be changed in the draft approach from Intiana? Think any different bans, any different prio picks? I don't think we know what
Um,
side each team's going to yet, but
well, yeah, we won't know. They might swap. I think Intiana has side selection. They might want to go with that again. Um, I don't know. Xin Zhao, it was picked up first, but I'm not sure it's from Illini. They picked up Xin Zhao first pick. It looks
yeah,
like I just got invited to the lobby. And it'll be Indiana on blue side and Illini on red. So
yeah. I
uh,
think
I think you take the Xin Zhao because you play it.
yeah, I think you take Zinzao, and then the other pick there that I think is concerning is the Bosch's Thresh was really good in this game.
Hmm.
It had
Yeah.
clutch lanterns for when his Jin was out of position. It landed like game-winning hooks on that Senna in the mid lane. So
And it's something
is
we hadn't seen into collegiate until now. So it's possible that Indiana didn't see it coming, and now they know to ban it.
yeah,
Although I'm also not including bans from their past games, so it's possible Thresh was banned in another matchup. I just don't have that
I
recorded.
haven't seen it yet. Don't have access to that information, sadly.
Well, we do. It's just not easily read right now on stream live. I think I'm gonna approach scouting with a spreadsheet next time.
Okay. As now we're just gonna wait for them to get ready so that we can get underway.
We have a ready
Um,
check from the Terrians on Intiana's team.
we talked about what we want to see change from Indiana. Is there anything that we want to see change from the winning side? Even though Illini
I,
took the dub in that game, it
I
wasn't the
think,
most clean.
yeah, you need to respect that Ari pick. Like you can't just pick the Morgana first time and expect it to work well because you almost lost to it.
Yeah.
So, okay, we see TF banned again for innumerable. And let me swap scenes.
So they really don't want to give him innumerable TF.
Right, we're on the appropriate scene.
Um,
Kane ban comes out again. Thresh,
and
there we go.
Thresh. And I think you ban Jace here on 3 and lock in Sinzao first. Yeah, that's what I would do if I was
Or,
Jack.
or, is Ari contested?
I don't think it is. Because, right, they got Ari on 3 last time.
Yeah. Innumerable hasn't played Ari in collegiate.
Oh, they banned Zinzao. Interesting. So instead of wanting to take it, the trains is just saying,
Oh no. Daniel Park is the Zinzao player.
no, yeah, but I'm saying
Oh
trains
yeah.
decided
Instead of
they
first
didn't want to
picking,
run it. Instead of
yes.
first picking Zinzao, they decided to ban it away.
Yes, sorry.
So we will see a new jungle pick here for Daniel Park. It might be the J4.
I think it's the
So
J4.
I think it's the J4. D first pick Zeri. She did get nerfed. If you're gonna first pick jungle like that, why didn't you just? I don't understand. I guess the trains really likes the Viego pick, and I guess he did show it. He did pop off in that team fight, that skirmish in the top side where he was just barely able to living at that resetting. So the trains really prefers this Viego picking, not wanting to go towards that Xin Zhao. As now we will see what is locked in as it's gonna be Lee Sin for Daniel Park.
Very interesting. I wonder if how their team feels about that one.
Yeah, as I think
Could it
J4
be a
Xin Zhao.
flex top? I don't think that's a flex top.
I mean,
He is the jack
Lee
of all
Sin,
traits.
Lee Sin has been picked top lane in some major releases like the LCK. So I guess it still could go top. Lee Sin top is not dead; it still exists, but not all that common anymore. As it will be the Jin, so same 80 carry here for Kuderic, and we might get the salty run
Senna
back
again?
on the bot lane.
Well, it won't be the
Senna,
Thresh, at least, you know.
Thresh will be taken off. You're right, and that Thresh had so much advantage from level 1. Right, he got that hook early in lane that got them the advantage that shoved Senna under tower, and then he just never really let up the pressure as Rock
Rock
Tank.
Tank, he wants that Urgot early. He's, you know, it's highest played in solo queue. It's what he's been playing most recently in collegiate. And they banned it second rotation, so they want to make sure he gets it. But Cracker's gonna respond with Wukong. I think I like that matchup for Wukong. Because Urgot telegraphs his E. It's a big chunk of the way he gets his damage in, and Wukong can reaction with clone. Okay, we see Ari LeBlanc bans now. Good on Illinois or Illini. The respect that Ari pick. They know that their Morgana counter didn't quite work out the way they expected it last game.
Yeah, I got solo killed in lane.
Yeah, but to put it bluntly. Nautilus banned. Without the Thresh, the Bosch doesn't think he can handle not. Or they're just getting rid of effort. But I think you could target the mid lane a little bit more there. The Morgana was banned. Okay. Not sure how I feel about that. Yeah, they were gonna counter pick mid anyway. I don't know why. We'll have to see. Okay, we see the Braum come out again. That's a bit tough with a Jin.
Yeah, Bromjin not the greatest one. Senna, I feel like Senna just farms that lane, right? Braum, without getting level in
You have
his
to get
jump
ganked.
yet.
Yeah. You have to get ganked pre-6 for the Braum to kill there, I think. Or you fumble on the other team. Teal picks Vigar for his mid laner, Epto. I was wrong. Vigar Senna bot lane. Rise mid.
So I guess it's fasting Senna, huh?
Yeah. It's a pretty squishy bottom lane.
Yeah, but you do outrange Jin and Braum. You can put him in the baby cage. As it will be innumerable picking up Victor, that stock standard control mage. Everybody loves Victor, huh?
Yeah. It's a nice source of magic damage. They were missing it up until that point. Does Morgana counter Rise? I guess if you time the Black Shield for the binding, the Rune Prison. I feel like Rise can just pump out enough damage to make it worth it, and he can out wave clear the Morgana later in the game. But I think I'm gonna switch us over to quick BRB screen and give us a quick moment to get some water, and we'll be back in 3 minutes once the Spectre delay is done. Alright, we're currently paused. Let me switch. So the ADC is lagging or disconnected, one of the two. Call it now. Is it going to be a fasting Senna or farming Senna?
It's fasting.
Yeah, that makes
No
sense.
shot. Viger
No
support with teleport. It's not farming.
No shot.
No shot.
Alright. Are we going to get to see an invade? Are we going to 5 point? Are we going to get a kill? Oh, my game froze.
That's a thing that happens when the game gets paused. It'll fix itself.
Okay. There we go.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And it's just a 5 point.
Boring. No one wants to
30
coin flip
seconds
the
until
game level
minions
1.
spawn.
Don't you like coin flipping the game level 1?
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
Interesting note. Jin has cleanse. So I don't know what he's gonna be cleansing.
Minions
Baby
will
cage?
spawn.
Flash baby cage. Cleanse.
Yeah, you're gonna cleanse the baby cage. Because you're forced
Or
to get
Senate
stunned by
binding.
the baby cage.
Well, the Senna binding lands, right? And then the baby cage goes down. So if you cleanse the Senna.
Yeah, I'm just not a big
Oh,
fan.
oh. Push.
They're getting the ward again.
Vigar got stacks.
They didn't watch the replay. They should have stacked on that bush. They knew the Bosch went for that lower last game. They should have known it was coming this game. Actually, no, it was the other team. Never mind. Both teams do the same ward. Fog. As kind of sucks to leash his Urgot because you lose your shotgun knee. Or bazooka leg. It is going to be fasting Senna here in the bot lane for Teal. I don't like how they're giving their seeding control of the early lane to Braum. Braum is a really crappy champion, level 1 with Jhin. I think you should really just be walking up and autoing a Senna. You're not going to get punished. So, a little bit of a misplay in my opinion, Teal, but maybe he's just respecting that their lane is all about permanent scaling, and they don't want to int the game early for no reason. As Innumerable will maybe try to harass Viego on his Raptors here, but it looks like not. As both junglers are just doing full top to bot clears of every camp. The blue side does tend to get cleared faster than the red, so Lee Sin will start picking up the pace once he gets over, but Daniel Park is really low HP on this first clear. Normally Lee Sins don't get this low when doing their camps. I don't know if he screwed something up, but he's already lost half of his HP and popped both of his pods. So that is a lot of combat power weight, and now he's even skipping the wolves. I would have rather you skip the Krugs than skip the wolves. But that is my opinion. We'll see what Daniel Park is able to get here, as bot lane has shoved in, so they might be in risk of being ganked. He's gonna drop his Gromp in order to get fast priority on this crab. So he will get that contested bit of CS and XP, but not quite the greatest here. Not in love with this start from Lee Sin. As Viego will just full clear, be up in camps, up in gold. He's going to be down in tempo after he gets that other one, as now flash forward from Apto in the mid lane will blow Innumerable's flash. That threat of that flash binding along with the Viego being there is enough to force out that summoner, as now the Bosch jumps forward, tries to get a bit of an aggressive trade, pops the Unbreakable. It doesn't take much damage, so not too bad from the side of this Intiana bot lane this time.
I'm getting whiplash from this camera.
Yeah, this camera is really wanting to show us all parts of the map all the time.
It's not a whole lot going on.
Top one scuttle, yeah, it's not a lot. it's just a bit of a back and forth, but I think that's okay if you're Intiana, right? You've got this double infinitely scaling bot lane. You're playing really safe here.
Ooh, your wave pushes.
No, I think they just need to. I don't think they lose this 2v2. I am of the opinion that Senna does not lose this 2v2. Maybe I'm wrong. What do you think, Nicholas?
We're gonna see it happen here.
As yeah, Braum goes forward. Okay,
Oh!
what is the stun flashes forward, and Kuderik proves me wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna say this bot lane's way too fucking squishy for that to work.
Yeah. As Lee Sin's looking to gank here off of Quacker's stacked wave here, he's gonna get this wave stuck here for a little bit. Lee Sin's not gonna be able to punish though, as Rock Tank.
I almost think Senna should have gone cleanse.
Senna should have gone for cleanse?
Yeah,
The
it takes
only way
Braum
he
a lot
died-
of effort to get that one stun off,
and when
and
it does,
the
he dies.
ignite. Yeah, it'll get rid of the ignite too.
Maybe even I would even like exhaust over heal. I'm not in love with the heal on Senna. What do you think?
That's what
Like-
I'm gonna say.
Oh,
And
as,
Braum's mid lane.
Apto getting ganked by the enemy support. The stun comes out. He's not even able to ult away. Apto, without the flash, he used it earlier for that aggressive play. It's going to be immutable picking up the kill. Innumerable, I mean, picking up the kill. And the Bosch, showing his proficiency on this champion, forces the play in the bot lane, gets a nice roam timing in the mid lane. The support for this Illini side is really showing his weight in this match. As now pings are coming down. Daniel Park is trying to go for the gank bot. Ward hop over, gets rooted up. Q lands. Can he find the last hit onto the Senna? Not quite. He will get most of Senna's HP, so it's still a win, but almost thought that was going to be a kill going over. Not quite.
Oh, a fight?
Yeah, fight in the bot side. Viego goes in. Doesn't quite have that level 6 though. As Daniel Park picks up the first kill. Vigar trying to get what damage he can, but it's going to be Apto that picks it up. Teal gets taken out by the Bosch, but now it's Rise versus Braum. Braum going to try to get to that blast cone. Doesn't quite drop, but the nice blind Q from Apto will take him out. Daniel Park maybe looking to go a bit further onto Apto, and it's going to be, well, in the end, 2 for 2?
Yep.
And who got the kills? It was Rise got both. That's really good if you're Apto. Your mid lane matchup was getting kind of screwed by that roam. And now you got 2 kills on the board for you. You're going to be able to get that frozen, not that crown earlier. I think it's going to be Tank Rise. That's going to be generally what people are running. They go Crown of the Shattered Queen plus that fully stacked Thimblewinter. As now the Bosch roaming it again, but this time Apto not pushed too far up to get punished by it. We'll just have to see if they're able to punish. Again, both top laners are electing not to go the Hullbreaker setups. It might be Hullbreaker still for Rock Tank, just stopping off on that Tiamat because it has so much value with how many autos that Urgot does get out with that W. As first dragon falls for Intiana, they were able to get dragon stacks in the last game. We'll see if that is their plan again in this match. And yeah, it's just going to be
A lot of vision wars going on top lane right now.
yeah. Zooming out. Side note, Quacker has managed to get a CS lead in this lane as well. So he's really getting the benefit as now Daniel Park might have been caught out, forced to flash away, Fear Beyond Death. Would have been able to put him down, and without the smite here, it's going to be Daniel Park that claims the Scuttle Crab most likely. Oh, don't fight here. He walks back and smites it away. After, though, might choose to flash forward, try to get a root. Instead, they're just going to walk away with that Wukong walking down. All in all, just trade of health there. Nothing gained, nothing lost. As now Apto might be in a little trouble. Jukes away from that Sonic Wave. Has to flash away. Nice play by Innumerable. Good gravity field cuts off the escape route for Apto, and Daniel Park getting a little bit more value in this early game than he did last time. Getting a punish on to that Rise in the mid lane for being a little too far forward, as Herald is started up for this Illini side. Oh, Viego's just dead here. He's just engaging onto 2.
Go to the roam mid
over
from
the
Braun.
wall. Yeah, the Bosch got that advantage in bot lane, instantly forcing his presence around the map.
He's got tier 2 boots. Man's on the run.
Man's on the run.
Or
Apto
yeah, on
still
the
hasn't
hunt.
recalled. Apto is sitting at like 10 HP. Still here.
Can't have Senna have all the fun on that wave, right?
Yeah. Is now. I think Victor stops centers. No, he doesn't. Being kind. Herald was picked up by Lee Sin, so Daniel Park will be able to drop this for that early gold swing, and
Lee Sin took Vigo's red buff right under him.
right under his nose is.
I think he knew it was being taken. I don't. think he
Apto got
did,
stunned up by the gravity field while he was trying to rise home. That's a little sus. Apto's staying on this HP value. Wow, he is very confident after blowing the enemy mid laner's flash, knowing that he can't walk up, so no harm, no foul. As now King Jeebus has to put on those fancy shoes. Teals will block up a few autos, but with Lee Sin coming in, this will be a full-on fight.
Whoa.
Bosch got very low, but it's actually going to be all in from Quacker in the top lane that gets the first kill. Solo up there for him, and with so low HP bars, they're going to be forced away, but now here comes Rise's TP. What can they get in exchange? Rise has no Realm Warp, can't choose to go any further forward. As a forward in, Kuderik will pick up the first kill of the fight, but the Heartbreaker comes out, and it's going to be Viego resetting all over the place. Doesn't get stunned up. Daniel Park now in danger. The Bosch has HP to try to get him to jump away, but it's just going to be a stun up, rooted down. The Bosch trying to walk out, but a flash Q from Vigar will help secure the kill. Apto picks up another on this side lane play.
But Vigar is real glad Apto was taking turret aggro before he pushed that flash button there. It's pretty close.
He would have died in one tower shot, but meanwhile, Innumerable just sat mid, got almost the whole tower worth of plates. So Victor not really hating that trade.
Dragon's coming up in 40 seconds.
Yeah, we'll see if they choose to fight over that again. And this was Rock Tank's Urgot. It was banned away game 1. Blind picked it game 2, and Quacker is really showing the prominence on this Wukong.
Well, we have seen an aversion for his team to let him play the Urgot, right? The only time he's been picking it is more recently. And when they started him out on Intiana, he was playing more like the ranged top laners, the Akshan, the Kennen. So maybe we're seeing now why he doesn't get to play Urgot.
Oh, as now Viego might have been caught up. Nice fancy feet will keep him alive from now. Apto on the chase. Will they be able to get an Evercross route onto Daniel Park? He's going to get stunned up. He's going to get taken down. Teal takes the credit for that one, and King Jeebus just deletes the Bosch off the map. And Dragon is the reward for that overstep. Daniel Park thinks he's confident with the Bosch there, with his support. He thinks he can get the trade. As now Kuderik might be in a little trouble. Getting chunked down.
Whoa!
Go for the Gale Force. He just instantly deletes Teal, but can he get away? No flash, no Gale Force. Heartbreaker hits true.
Whoa!
Last tower shot almost takes out the Viego, and I think you're just safer there if you don't grab the soul.
I got butterflies from that roller coaster.
Holy. As gold is in the advantage, 2k for Illini, but it is, again, the Dragon stacking coming out. It's going to be another Ocean Rift, another Ocean Soul, if they can claim it. Rift Herald was used too late. It's not even going to get the turret plate value. It's now Apto. Nice pick up in the jungle by Bosch. Apto forced to flash away, but a ward hop auto will stun him down. He finally gets dropped. Lee Sin gets the kill credit on the shutdown. Bonus gold over to Daniel Park for that one, but now what can they get? They have King Jeebus up in the top lane, TP there, but Victor almost one-taps the Vigar, trying to get away. Urgot is the first to fall. It's a massacre in the top side.
That
3
last plant was
kills
kind of troll.
for the side of Illini. They walk too far forward. They don't respect the power this Wukong had up here, and huge gold swing for the side of Illini. So much so that Illini, yeah, my bad. So much so that objective bounties are now on for a Realm War play in the mid lane.
You don't have the numbers. It's 2v3.
Daniel Park, reckons he likes to fight the Bosch, just walking at them menacingly.
Quacker's
Have to put
almost
some
there.
damage down. Quacker on the flank, but Viego will be the first to fall. Senna picks up one, but it's going to be Apto going down. Let's see what they can get. Daniel Park also very low. If he gets hit by one more spell, you think that the Senna ultimate could do it, that railgun. But he gets away, and again, it's Intiana electing to take a fight, and they come out the worse for it.
They have objective bounties now.
Yeah. But they don't have anyone in the side lane to try to force it. They got Urgot pushing top. They're going to get a bit of damage on this mid lane tower, but it's not going to be enough to take it. And looking at item completions now, every player on the side of Illinois has a mythic item completed. Senna still working on that either Gale Force or Kraken Slayer, most likely Kraken. But I think the furthest down is Urgot is still trying to build that first item in Titanic Hydra. It's not even that expensive an item. He's down so much gold considerable to this Wukong. Wukong almost finishes Death's Dance. It's so rough in the top lane. Quacker is really owning this lane in these two matches. He won it in the Jace lane, and now he's winning it in the Wukong is now. Maybe Viego tries to go for something, but I think Quacker can 2v1. As now that he's walked forward, are they going to go for it? No. It's just a little bit of bait from Tyrannus. Just trying to maybe see if he could find something, and they will see Lee Sin out in the mid lane. There will be a bit of pressure, and next dragon spawning here in 1 minute's time. It's gonna be Illinois that have control of the pit, that have control of the area. And with their vision getting priority in the enemy's jungle, there's just not much for this Viego to do. As now, they maybe look for a mid lane play. Daniel Park lands the Q. Does he go for an insect? No. Doesn't have to go for it. King Jeebus just walks away. Teal, that's one Victor laser that does a quarter of his HP. It's not even the second proc. It's just the first proc of Victor laser. This game's gotten a little out of hand. What do you think?
Well, we're getting into a fight.
Getting into a fight as Quacker goes in onto Viego. Viego's going to be instantly put down. Curtain call comes out. The bullets all go wide, and it's going to be pick up jungle just before dragon spawns, so it will be quick turn over to the dragon. A little too over-eager from Tyrannus. Try to find a play there, and Quacker punishes him. They were able to shove in both side lanes while that happened, though, so the response will come out. If they keep being able to get that side lane priority, they will be able to pick up those first turrets. Turrets worth an additional 250 gold on that outer ones for the objective bounty, so if they are able to find it, it is a bit of bonus gold for them, but they still seem very much out of reach.
I really think Intiana's, I guess, Achilles' heel this game is they're not playing to their comp strengths, right? They keep going for these plays topside with the blast plant and then the Viego when he's trying to come in mid lane, and they're looking for fights. While it's important that they should be doing that, they didn't give themselves room to scale earlier in the game.
Yeah, right. They have a very strong zone control comp. You've got the Senna with exceedingly long range. You've got this Vygar pick that has that baby cage. So I feel like they'd want the enemy to walk into them in most fights instead of having to force to walk in because they don't have very good engage of their own. So it is very strange that they are looking to start most of these fights instead of just asking the enemy team to walk into them. They've also been trying.
Absolutely. That's like Urgot's the whole deal, right?
Yeah, he wants you to walk into it. As now they're walking into a mid lane. Curtain Call popped up, but King Jeebus is just gonna be dropped. Daniel Park gets the damage. The fourth shot from Derek will pick it off, and that's just the bot laner for the side of Intiana, just walking a little too far forward in the mid lane. And as we were saying, they are that, like, you want them to walk into them comp. And I feel like they forced too hard in the early game. They had this exceptional scaling, as I say that. Immediate pickoff by Kuderik in the mid lane. Gale Force into Deadly Flourish for that root was exceptionally well played from Kuderik, but maybe he's in a little bit of trouble now. Realm Warp coming out, dodges away from the Spectral Maw. Heartbreaker doesn't quite hit its mark, and the triple Everfrost Root will keep him alive for now, but Daniel Park takes up the first. The teleport here from King Jeebus. He's now forced to run away. The Bosch chasing down, gets the auto, the tag, the slow. Two more autos will stun him. Lee Sin lands the Q, and it's going to be King Jeebus TPing in to die. Intiana thought they might have found a pick in that mid lane, but it was just a sidestep. Did Urgot get solo killed in the top lane when that happened, Nicholas?
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
He was 3 deaths. So
No, he died. I didn't think he died mid though.
no.
So he got solo killed by Wukong under his tier 2 tower, so that's unfortunate. The first game was Osta very close, the second one not so much. It's gonna take, it feels like a miracle for Intiana to come back. They're getting hammered in this early game. And we'll just see what they're able to put together.
I'm getting real hungry. I haven't had lunch.
I had lunch. Real hungry.
Real hungry.
Do you just want Illinois to just quit messing around to end the game?
I mean, the reason why we get to cast this game is because of Intiana, so I'm a wee bit biased. I would stick it through. If Intiana wants to win this series, I'd be fine with that.
You want them to pull it back. Sounds good. As Baron is going to be claimed here. No contest, as Viego might have found Innumerable in the bot side, but Innumerable just one-taps him. King Jeebus will be here off the stopwatch though. Point and click gameplay button. King Jeebus picks one up. But don't quite look at the gold lead yet. That will swing a little bit back in their favor as now Rise has been engaged on and Wukong just one-taps him. Quacker is going off in this match. He's taking this 1v3, flashes forward. He really wants this fight. That Q extended auto range is enough to pick up the Viger. It's going to be 1v3 triple kill. Quacker going ham in the bot side. Mid lane inhibitor taken down. It's just Urgot here to defend. Viego just came up to try to stop it. Second inhib is going to be taken too. The gold lead now sitting around
Inhibitor has been destroyed.
15k. When with TPs coming in from Innumerable, it looks like they want to end it right here, right now. Rock Tank instantly deleted. Viego soon to follow. Abdo try as he might to save the game. He's stunned up. He's not quite taken down. They're trying to hold, but Bosch will get the kill credit for that one. Vygar dies on his fountain, and now Teal has to play the juke game. Can he dodge that last skill shot? No, he cannot. It's going to be a solid ace and a 25-minute win for the side of Illinois. Illini, my bad. I always say Illinois. I'm an idiot, bro.
Illini, University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. Pull out the
Yep.
dub today.
Pull out the dub. Game 1 was close. Game 2, not so much. Was a Zinzao training weights, do you think, for Daniel? Really popped
Maybe.
off in the Lee Sin, or?
I think that's possible. Hold on. All right. Yeah, I mean, we didn't see any insect plays.
Yeah.
But
A lot of his plays just came off the fact that the Bosch did a really good job of pairing up with him in the jungle. They were a lot of the aggressive plays they had were like the Bosch and Daniel just sitting in a bush waiting for Viego to walk by, and they were able to pick that off multiple times. They got advantages in lane. Every lane won. It's pretty hard for Intiana. I like how the game ended at exactly 25 minutes. So that's pretty cool, but
yeah, 25 flat. I think the Lee Sin should get a little more work in the lab
a little more
after
work in the
thinking about
lab.
it a little bit. Yeah, because
But
you did comment early game. Lee Sin's not supposed to be too low after what was that his first clear or second clear?
he had finished his Red Krug's Raptors and was at half HP. He was below half HP. Was at half HP and had to chug both pots. So maybe a little work on the Lee Sin clear.
Yeah. Well, and he's also ahead, and he's what only 13 CS up on the other junglers. So
Yeah, his pathing could have been interesting in the early game, but I still feel like he did a very good job with the Bosch just walking around the map.
yeah. Although I would want to give the credit more to the Bosch there.
The Bosch, yeah, who he like made a great roam play on his own beforehand. So
Yeah, and he did that the game before. I mean, the gank is that the support roaming is more novel than the jungler ganking mid lane, right?
yeah,
So great plays from the Bosch today. Quacker always ahead in lane, constantly like pushing down that. And University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign takes a victory over Indiana University. Next week will be the last week of the Swiss bracket. I'm not sure exactly who we're going to be casting then yet, but stay tuned and we'll make an announcement as soon as we know. We're also going to be posting a few more memes this week. Be sure to check those out on the YouTube channel. And yeah, Discord's where we post the announcements if you're curious. Hope all of you have a great weekend. And thank you for watching. Brandon, do you have anything?
nah, just follow Twitter, follow socials. Have a nice night.
See ya.